Welcome to the American Rambler here on the Bastion of Unfree Speech, better known as YouTube. I'm your host, Paul Grafton. This is Felonious Female Fridays, and here, once again, we're talking about Felonious Female Fridays and about the female teachers raping the male students. I have recently found that I can't mention the R word on here, so we're going to use grape as a substitute. So here's our first one. You don't have the balls. Inside story of how a geography teacher, 24, lured her 14-year-old student with raunchy texts before repeatedly having sex with him at school and giving the boy a farewell present on his last day. That's funny. I thought all boys wanted it. Why did you have to shame him in order to get him to perform? If he wanted it, he would have been eager. But guess what? Women are believing their own lies, and in order for them to do what they're doing to these boys, I'm not going to call them boys. Not going to call them men or young men, because they haven't been properly guided and they are also underage. So here are some of the points. A female geography teacher who sexually assaulted a student was abused as a kid. Monica Young sent sordid text messages asking for naked photos of boys 14. She is due to be sentenced for crimes involving the 14-year-old next month. And Young regrets letting the relationship. It's not a relationship. Progress and ask for forgiveness. Try and remember, they try and soften the grape by saying it's an affair, it's a romp, it's seduce, when it is none of that. It's actually grape. Next one. Here's one that's really disturbing. And of course, coming from Tampa, Florida. Florida, you got some really... You need to start having a petition to where... Well, I think I'm going to start the petition to where the female teachers have to undergo a psychological evaluation before giving their teaching license to find out if they are predisposed to being a predator. Florida high school teacher 39, who dubbed herself the biology bombshell, resigned after female students reported her for comments about her sex life, how she didn't like to wear underwear, gross, and how she couldn't wait for boys to turn 18. Tiffany Johnson left Howard Blake High School in Tampa this spring after being accused by a group of female students of making inappropriate comments. Senior Madison Slater was the first to blow the whistle on Johnson and rallied her friends to make statements. Students claimed Johnson talked in class about not wearing underwear, discussed her sex toy, and joked about size of boys' genitals. The boy said Johnson's comments about his body were icky and made him feel not safe in the classroom. Yes, of course, men are not safe because either way happens. If she doesn't want it, or she just doesn't like you, she can just make any accusation. Or if she likes you, she can make a comment and usually goes unpunished. One student claimed Johnson showed her photos of male strippers' penis. Johnson admitted to district investigators to making sexual innuendos, but claimed her words had been taken out of context. Separate probe by Tampa Bay Police Department. I'm going to tell you a little secret here. There is no Tampa Bay Police Department. There is no such city as Tampa Bay. So, this last line here, where it says separate probe by Tampa Police Department found that Johnson did not commit any criminal offenses. Alright, so no such thing. There is a Tampa, Florida, but no Tampa Bay. And if he talked to the Tampa police, he would have known that. Or she would have known that. So that last statement is not factual and is not true. Another one here is a Colorado choir teacher, 27. She pleads guilty to sex romps at home with her teen boy student. Once again, the steamy affair was exposed when the teacher sent sexy texts to her lover. No, it's not her lover, it's her victim. It's not an affair. It's grooming while he was sleeping and other students saw them. Basel, Colorado high school choir teacher pleaded guilty on Tuesday to engaging in raping with a boy who was her student and a minor at the time of the abuse. Brittany Von Stein of the Carbondale, Colorado was busted for raping her teenage boy over a 6-month period last year during her now ended tenure as a choir teacher at Basalt High School in Basalt, Colorado, which is just northwest of Ricci, Arizona. And of course, Randall Ryan, who is fantasizing, and I can tell you for a fact that most men that are victims do not end up like this. Do not end up having normal relationships. Okay, they are victims. They need to be treated as that, and they should not be celebrated. And you should not be going, oh, where are all those teachers? I can tell you for a fact that they were there when I was around, and they were there before that. Problem is, they didn't shoot. Well, the problem is that they were there and they were ignored and not taken seriously when the boys went to report them. Florida, here we go again. And this one, unfortunately, no teaching license is needed because private schools don't require a teaching license. A former teacher at a private Christian school in Florida had a sexual encounter. A former teacher at a private Christian school in Florida raped a student with a teen she admitted having a crush on, the authorities allege. Former Holly Hill teacher Kristen O'Brien, 31, was arrested last Friday on a felony warrant of charges of lewd and lascivious battery, sex act on a child between 12 and 16 years old, WFTV reported. The former Christian teacher school quit her job at United Brethren in Christ Academy in Holly Hill in September, where she taught the student she allegedly raped. And then here again, teacher at New Brighton charged with sex assaults of 2 students. Okay, at least they're using sex assaults. Okay. 2 New Brighton School District seniors told police their substitute English teacher had sex with them and sent them nude photos, court records show. A judge on Tuesday arraigned Tiffany Leases, 26, of Moon on 2 counts of felony institutional sexual assault and 1 count of furnishing alcohol to minors. She was released on a non-monetary bond. She did not return phone messages seeking comment. Okay, once again, showing that the females are using alcohol and drugs to get the males or the boys interested. The reality is, if the boys wanted it, she would not have needed to use alcohol or drugs to get them to perform. Now here's one, and she's deservedly getting the sentence she deserved. Pink Pass denied. Christina Greer sentenced to 60 years in prison for sex crimes at daughter's sleepover. Even her 12-year-old daughter was testifying against her. A Nebraska woman has been sentenced to more than 60 years in prison for several child abuse charges related to sleepovers with friends of her then 11-year-old daughter, where she had sex with two boys and handed out marijuana-infused gummy bears. Okay, so why 11-year-old? Okay, so more than likely they were 11-year-old boys. Well, I can tell you, even though they might be going through changes, they're not really interested. Okay, and if the boys wanted it, then why did she need to give them gummy bears with marijuana and alcohol? Christina Greer, 38, was sentenced Monday to between 64 and 102 years in prison. She was convicted in March of 3 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a child involving two boys ages 12 and 13. Okay, 6 counts of felony child abuse and 2 counts of witness tampering. Maybe she got the extended for witness tampering. Sarpy County prosecutors said Greer gave several children who were sleeping over at her house alcohol, marijuana-infused gummy bear, alcohol and marijuana in 2017 and 2017, according to the Omaha World Herald. She also told the children not to tell anyone about what happened during the sleepovers and to delete the pictures from their phone. So she knew it was wrong, and the boys, if they wanted it, okay, hey, Dad would be proud. Nope, Dad would not be proud, so they knew. Court documents said that Greer groomed 2 of the boys into having sex with her, and police found sexually explicit photos of Greer on one victim's phone. And here, the victims had to go through a lot, to put it lightly, said prosecutor Phil Klein with the Sarpy County Attorney's Office. I hope that the court sentence the victims will be able to find some form of closure and be able to move forward with their lives. I do too. Greer's daughter, who was 12 years old at the time, testified against her during a pretrial hearing, telling the court she had accompanied her mother to Walmart to buy watermelon margarita mix, and her mother poured the cocktails at home for her and her friends. And when questioned by Sarpy County prosecutors if she and her friends got intoxicated at gatherings, Greer's daughter replied, "Every time." Okay, don't forget to check the links below for other videos. Thank you.